little better.
Take two. Good morning. All right. We are starting standing position for Pilates today. No equipment needed. Feet are in parallel. You can zip your feet together with your legs as if you have one leg. If it is more comfortable, stand hip distance apart. Pull your abs in. Lengthen your tailbone. Fingers to your rib cage. Nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Pull the ribs down and knit them together. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Chin forward, chin back. Elongate through the top back side of your head. All right. We're going to stand on our right leg. We're going to point our left toes. We're going to bend the right knee so the left toes slide forward. Feel that work in your quad and your glute. And slide up. So just sliding forward and up. If your foot doesn't slide on your mat, just scoot forward a little bit so you have a floor there. So the toes can just slide. I'm not putting weight on this left leg. I'm just letting it slide forward. Whatever you want with your hands, you can have them here in Namaskar position, out to your side. You could do movement with it, totally up to you. Last one, by the way, I hope you felt that in your quad and your glute. Leg to the side, same thing. We're going to shoot the hip back as we step to this, as we reach to the side. Try not to let that hip go askew, right? Think about driving it straight back. And again, no weight on this left leg. You could even, if you wanted to be annoying, you can make teeny tiny circles with arms straight. Just reverse your circle every once in a while up, and don't confuse yourself with your legs. Oh, that got confusing. All right, and then back to center. Again, we're going to bend that leg. This left leg will have a tendency as we go backwards to bend. So use that quad to straighten the leg. Keep it firm as you reach back and forward, back and forward. Bending into that right knee, quad and glute. Here she comes. Hey, babe. Two more. And bring it up. Cross that leg in front, and you're going to arch over to your left side, feeling that stretch down the right side in your IT band, your glutes, side of your hip, and then we'll come up. You get to do all that on the other side. So weight on that left leg, right toes are pointed, and we slide forward and back. And just being aware of what's going on in your hip. You don't want to shoot it to the side. Kind of the same thing with the knee. You want it to drive straight, not drop in. I don't know what's going on back there. Good. Last one. Bring it up. We're going to bend that knee and slide the leg to the side. This is where that hip might have a tendency to go to the left. So do your best to drive it straight backwards. Good. All right, and then we come back to center. Was that my cat or someone else's cat? Reach back. Try and get that leg nice and straight. Again, quad, glute, just a few more. Very nice. All right. We're going to, hello. We're going to cross, hello. We're going to cross that leg over, and then we'll lean over to the right. She has a very big tail, I'm sorry. It's like doing goat yoga. This is cat Pilates. All right, we're gonna head down to the floor. She's gonna come with me, so we're good. See? Told you. All right, feet are on the ground and knees are bent, and feet can be together. Again, zipping up everything. We're just gonna hinge back. Take a moment, pull your belly button in, and you're going to roll down a vertebra at a time, using your hands to assist you or just as is. We're renaming our YouTube channel to Pilates by Nutmeg and Flo. So she needs to make an appearance. All right, so here we are, lying on the ground. Let's just take a quick moment and we're gonna extend arms and legs opposite directions. Point the toes, feel a nice stretch in the front side of your body, and then flex your heels, tuck your tailbone under, so we go into that pelvic tilt, and you'll still feel the stretch, but now a little bit more on the back side of the body. And then you're gonna bend your knees. Bring your hands by your sides, reach them long, fingers together. Back of the neck is nice and long. Exhale, pull those ribs to the hips for ab prep exercise. Reach and sweep and down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach and sweep again. Lift, reach and sweep. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach and sweep. We prepare with an inhale, we lift with the exhale, we reach with the inhale, and we come down. Just one more like that, reach. And last time, exhale, reach, and reach here. All right, stack those legs up tabletop, knees over hips. Slow double leg stretch. Hands reach long, back of the neck is long, ribs are pulled in, deep breath in. Exhale, belly button snaps to the spine. Inhale, knees pivot over. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulders lift. Inhale, point your toes. Exhale, flex your heels as you reach overhead. And inhale, lift for those toes. You might be here, you might be here, you might go all the way up. Exhale, bend it down. Inhale, knees open. Exhale, float off the ground. Inhale, point your toes. Exhale, flex the heels, lift the arms overhead. Inhale, point, lift, reach. Exhale, down. Inhale, open. Exhale, lift. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. Open, inhale. Lift, exhale. Point, inhale. Exhale, flex. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. Inhale, open. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, flex. Are you paying attention to what we're doing so you can do a few on your own? Inhale, open, that's step one. Exhale, lift, that's two. 3, point your toes. 4, flex your heels, arms lift. Inhale, point, lift, reach, that's the last one. Bring it down. I'll do one more with you and then you're on your own. Pivot, open on the inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex, reach. Inhale, point, lift. And exhale, down. Give me 2 more on your own, please. And when you finish that second one, hug your knees into your chest and then extend those legs long on the ground. We're going to do our neck pull, which we haven't done very much lately. I want you to tuck your hips under. Feel your low back go into the ground and you're actually squeezing your glutes. Your fingertips, your peacetime fingers on each side, go to the edges of your skull. Your elbows aren't going to come in front of you. Nice deep breath in. On the exhale, pull your belly button in, and on the inhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Now, most of us get stuck about right here, and we have to use momentum to come up. So instead, I want you to bend your knees. If you need to, grab your hamstrings to help yourself, that's fine. Exhale, come up, and then pretend like that didn't happen. Extend those legs and sit tall through the spine. So sit up out of your hips, but ribs are down on the inhale. On the exhale, we're going to get a hinge forward. We're not going to round and tuck. We're going to hinge with that long spine, chin nodded, yes. We're going to inhale tall. Now for this first one, on the way down, we're going to go back to those bent knees. We're going to grab hold. We're going to help ourselves down. And then again, we're going to ignore that we did that, straighten the legs. On the inhale, we lift the head, neck, and shoulders. And now we're going to proceed. On the exhale, if you need to bend your knees, grab your hamstrings. If you don't grab your hamstrings. If you can, keep your legs straight. Everyone meets at the top, inhale tall. Exhale, everyone hinges forward, inhale tall. On the way down, you don't get to bring your elbows here and you don't get to crash land. So a lot of control, glutes are tucked, back of the neck is long. As soon as you tap, you inhale right back up. And then if you need some help, exhale through that challenging part, inhale tall. Exhale, hinge, inhale, lift. Exhale, coming down with control, back of the neck is long. Inhale, lift right back up again. Exhale, help yourself as needed. Inhale, tall. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, tall. Exhale, roll down. You're going to do one more on your own. Inhale, lift. Exhale, help yourself through the challenge. Inhale, tall, sit up, and exhale, hinge. Inhale, tall, and take it down a vertebra at a time. When you get down, you're going to bend your knees and put them on the ground, and we're going to extend the right leg straight up in the air. Fingertips go to your hip bones, so we're going to keep awareness as we do our leg circles that our hips aren't wobbling. So start really small. You're going to inhale and start a circle with your big toe, and you're going to exhale to finish that circle. And you're going to be aware that there's no movement in your hips. So I'm really having to contract here. If this bothers your hip flexor, start with a short lever, right? So it's a knee drawing on the ceiling. If you're able to keep the leg straight and you want a little more challenge with flexibility, you straighten the left leg, flex to the heel, and we do that same circle. And then, as you are feeling more confident, can you enlarge the circle without moving the hips? And again, you inhale to start a circle and you exhale to finish it, and then you reverse. So if you haven't been reversing the direction because your instructor wasn't clear on that, then do so now, please. We're going to bend that knee and put it on the ground. We're going to extend that left leg, fingers stay where they are. And again, we start with those tiny little circles. So you're imagining, and again, you're reversing every time. You inhale to start, you exhale to finish. Option to do this with a bent knee, and the knee is drawing the circle. So keeping those hips stable, imagining that maybe you have a beverage sitting on those hips that you don't want to spill, or going back to the beginning of class, maybe you have a box of popcorn. Option to flex through that right heel and straighten out that leg, and option to make your circles a little bigger. Ribs are flat, back of the neck is long. Inhaling to start the circle, exhaling to finish. Again, bigger circles if you feel like it. And then we'll bend that knee and we'll bring both feet. We're going to do a bridge, but a slightly different bridge. So I want you to walk your feet a little bit ahead of your knees, shoulders back and down, tuck and tip, and then find neutral in your spine. So ribs are down, but there's a small arch in your spine. Walk your feet far enough ahead that you could actually roll onto the backs of your heels and have your toes sticking up in the air. So sort of a 90-degree angle. Knees are squeezed together if possible, and then we lift up into a bridge. And again, oftentimes we still have that little flex in our hips, so let's lift a little higher. Arms are going to hover. If you're okay with that, you should feel this a bit more in your hamstrings today. Right knee is going to come up in the air. We're going to lower it to the left knee and flex to lift. So regular lift and lower, but again, that left side is a little more engaged because we're on that heel rather than flat-footed. Hips are nice and even. And then right knee in, place it next to the left foot, bring your hips down. Deep breath in. Exhale, tuck, inhale, tip, find your neutral. Arms reach back and the neck is long. Lift up and go that extra inch. Hover your hands, left leg up. Bring it, reach and flex. Point and flex. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep it going. Just two more. And then knee in, bring it down. Woo, hips go down. Straighten out that left leg. Hug that right knee in for a moment towards your rib cage and then off to the side. Let it drop open. Bring it around again. Hug it across. And then put it on the ground. Stretch it out. Left leg comes in. Bring it in. Let it open to the side. a nice little circle, and then bring it across to the right. And then it also goes down. All right, we're gonna point our toes. So this is gonna be like ab prep, except where we have straight legs. Deep breath in, exhale, head, neck, and shoulders float off the ground. On the inhale, reach your arms over your head and see how this is for you. On the exhale, come down, deep breath in. Exhale, float up. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, come down. Option, when you come down, reach the arms overhead, but be sure you lower them before you come up, unless you want a big old challenge, in which case your arms stay overhead, and as you come up, you leave them by your ears. Try not to let them get ahead of you. You stay up like this, and then you exhale down, deep breath in. So you inhale to prepare, exhale to lift, arms are long or they were low and they go overhead on the inhale, and then you exhale down. So some of you can see where we're headed, and that is to roll-ups if you do roll-ups. So you're gonna come up, and if you're able to roll all the way up without momentum, without kicking your legs, you come all the way up and you inhale tall at the top. And then whether you're doing that partial roll-up or the full roll-up, you exhale to move. You might inhale, extend your arms, you don't have to. Make sure they come by your sides before you try to come up. And then again, it's nice and easy with control. Articulate that spine. Give me a nice lift at the top and exhale to lower. We inhale on the reach. Hands come down before you try to come up. You exhale to come up. Just a few more like that for me, please. And then this next time that you come down, you're going to stay down. We're going to bring those knees in for a quick second. Let them rock side to side. And then we're going to extend them straight up. So just like we did in leg circles. Again, if knees need to be bent, that's fine. We're going to go straight to a double leg lower, right? But actually, we're going to start with single leg lower. So with straight legs or bent if need be, you're going to reach that leg away from your body. So we open up the angle at the hip, and you're going to exhale to flex back up. You're going to inhale to reach and exhale to flex back up. One more time with each leg. And then if you want, turn out in your feet, lower and flex to lift. Abs strong in, reach and lift. Option to reach, open, lift, down together before you come up, right? So it adds a step, but the breathing stays the same. So this is our double leg lower. If straight legs is pulling you out of alignment, go back to bent knees, toe touch exercise. And again, control on the way up. You don't want to swing those legs up, right? And your hips stay on the ground, so nice and controlled. All right, once those legs come back to center, we're going to go into hip lifts. So we're going to keep our arms way out to the side. We're not going to put them under our hips. We're going to point the toes. We're going to pull the ribs in. On an inhale, we're going to lift the legs. We're going to pause, and we're going to exhale down. We're doing our best not to simply make it a swing, right? So we're going to lift, control it down. Lift, hold, control it down. So keep that going for me for a moment, please. If you want to add on to that hip lift, you bend your elbows, you're going to feel your triceps work a little more. If you feel like that makes you swing more, then maybe go back to the hands. And finally, if you want the bigger challenge, you're probably going to lose some of the pause or all of it. You're going to try to lift with your hands and shoulders off, or arms off the ground. And then we're taking a quick break. All right, we're going to put those two things together, but it doesn't turn into a momentum exercise. So what we're going to do is lower the legs, bring them to center, that's your second count, lift them up, hold, and bring them down. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift, pause there. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower, pause. Inhale, exhale, lift, pause, down, right? So little pauses so that you're not just going from down to up overhead. So make it forward, back, up, down, with a little pause at each end. Now, take a quick break, hug your knees in. We're going to keep that going if rollovers don't work for you, meaning your booty doesn't go over your head, or you have high blood pressure, detached retina, thyroid disease, osteoporosis, vertigo, or pregnancy. If you have none of those, then your rollover would look like this. Legs go up just as they did before, but this time they come over your head. Try to get your legs to come down parallel to the ground before you roll down, a vertebra at a time. So I'll talk you through it with the breath. If you do the rollover, you inhale to lift. You exhale, legs overhead. You inhale parallel, and then we're going to exhale and roll down a vertebra at a time. If that's not working for you, we're right back to either hip lifts or lower, lift, hip, and down, right? So you choose. You could even, if you wanted to, lower, lift, and then come up to that rollover, right? You just have a few more counts. So lots of options here. If you're doing hip lifts, give me 5 more. If you're doing hip lifts with the lower, give me 3 more. If you're doing rollovers by themselves, just 2 more. If you're doing the whole thing, 1. And then we're going to widen our feet. We're going to bring our knees apart. We're going to drop those right knee in, left leg out to the side. That's going to give you a hip flexor stretch. Even though we wanted to work our abs, our hip flexors may have helped out quite a bit on that. And then right leg back to center, left knee drops in, please. And back to center. We're going to hug those knees to tabletop and lie on our side facing me. And then we're going to straighten out those legs. You want to look down and make sure that from your toes to your arm, you're a straight line. So I can't really see my toes unless I hinge forward. We're going to pull those abs in. We're going to lift that rib cage. We're going to lift that top leg. And we're going to tap it in front with the heel up. Bring it behind, tap it behind with the toe down. And we're going to try not to rock in the torso. So if you need to at first, put your hand there. So heel in front and toe behind. Heel in front, toe behind. And then start seeing, could I do this with my hand on my hip and still keep some control here? It's hard to do. If you're wobbling too much, you could bring your feet to the edge of your mat so you have a tiny little angle at the hips. Or if you like that challenge, you keep going there. Woo-hoo. All right, now we're going to add on. We're going to toe, or yeah, where were we? Sorry, we were heel down. Lift that leg up in that turnout position and give me a circle to the front. Circle to the front. Just one more circle to the front. Now bring that toe behind you, toe down. Circle to the back in front. Back in front. Am I going the same way? Whatever. If you feel like you're going the same way, reverse it. No, I think we did it different. Anyway, hello. Bend that knee. Give that hip some love. I'm sorry, guys. All right. Then snake yourself up with your opposite leg right behind it. Both knees are bent, and then just kind of come a little closer so your ankles are crossed. Top leg in front. And this elbow is right underneath your shoulder. You're going to push back, lift up out of it. We're going into side bends. So a little more challenging would be to tuck those feet back. A little more bend in your knee will be more challenging. You're going to lift up and straighten your legs without moving your feet. So you don't want to be down here. You want to try and arch. And then you're going to separate your knees as if you're doing a curtsy and straighten up. So curtsy and up, and curtsy and up, and keep that going for me. Curtsy and up. Good. Just 2 more. And nice and easy down. We're going to flip over to the other side. We're going to elongate first. Arm underneath the ear, waistline lifted, toes are pointed, legs are long. I'm going to start by lifting that leg. I'm going to go heel tap in front, toe touch behind. Heel in front, toe down behind. Heel and toe, butt. Notice if you're wobbling a lot in your spine, trying to either control that, or if you need to, give yourself a little bit of support here with your fingers or your whole hand, but then see if you could, do a little less. Oops, I got confused. All right, here we are, heel down in front. You're gonna lift up and around, lift up and around, lift up and around, drop the toe and back, lift up, come forward, up, forward, and bend. Give that hip some love. We're gonna come up in that side bend position again, so elbow under your shoulder, shoulder pushes back, lift up out of it, crisscross at your ankles, top leg in front, and then we arch it up in that C shape, we bend the knees, and we curtsy, and we lift, and we curtsy, we lift, and curtsy, and all the way down onto your abs. Just stack your hands for now. Just let your back settle for a moment. And we're going to start with a nice, easy stretch for that low back passive stretch. We're going to bend the right knee out to the side and make sure that your heel is underneath your knee and your knee is in line with your hip. And then you might even lift the leg up so you can get a little closer to the ground. The right arm goes out in that right ankle. The left arm can just go back down by your side, and I've turned my left ear onto the ground. So this is just a really passive extension for the back. I wanted to start with this before we do some real extensions. Let's bring that right leg back down, right arm by your side. You're going to bend your left arm into 90, left leg into 90, and turn onto that right ear. No napping. And then we'll straighten everything back out and we'll bring those hands underneath our forehead. Let's tuck our toes and press through the heel so that your knee is off the ground, and then do the same with the opposite leg. And then, so my thighs are lifted, my quads are engaged, and then I'm going to point the toes. So my entire leg is off the ground right now. I'm just going to flutter kick here, lower body. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, exhale, and relax. All right. All 10 toes stay on the ground this time. Toenail side down. Bring your arms out in front of you. Roll your shoulders out of your ears and see if that helps lift you up just a tiny bit. Then nod your head yes. Lift your right arm, bring it down. Lift your left arm, bring it down. Now lift both arms and go right, left, right, left, and flutter. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Little break, just bend your knees, windshield wiper, old-timey or new-timey windshield wipers. If you're doing the old-timey ones that crisscross each other, just make sure you alternate. All right, and then once again, extend those legs. They can be touching or hip distance. Arms, a little easier, will be wider, a little more challenging right in front of you. We'll put those two things together. Tuck your toes, lift your legs off the ground, and point the toes. Now my legs are up. Arms up, and here we go, flutter. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale, one more time. Inhale, and exhale. We'll press back into our shell stretch. So let your hips sit back on your heels, arms in front or by your side. You can make little fists and tuck them under your knees for a little more space. And then as we come forward, we do a quick little stagger of cat-cow. Left hand forward, right knee forward. We're going to cow forward and cat back. All right, stack again. We're going to go right hand forward, left knee forward. You're going to cow and cat. I'm hoping that when you do these, you feel stretch in kind of different areas than you normally would with your cat-cow. All right, okay. As we're going to come to a seated position, you will probably, for a little assistance, want to roll your mat up a little bit, kind of creating a burrito, cannoli, or if you don't want food, sleeping bag. And then you're going to sit up on that lift. Knees are going to be bent to start with, and we're going to pull our glutes out from under us so that we're sitting really nice and tall on those sit bones. So for now, we're going to keep the knees bent. We're going to flex the toes back towards the face, and we're going to grab our hamstrings and give a hinge forward, a perfect hinge, no rounding and dropping into that low spine. So lift from your tailbone, lift from your back. Then, if you know you have the flexibility, you could start to slide your heels out and stretch forward in that spine stretch. But I even rounded a little bit into my sacrum, I noticed. So just be aware. You could even put your hands on that bump and lift yourself tall out of those hips. You get quite a little love stretch there. And then we'll sit up. All right, so if your knees are still bent, that's absolutely fine. We're going into the saw. We'll start slowly. Arms extend. You're going to take your left pinky finger and twist it over your right leg. You're going to take your right arm and reach as far as you can to the back. So that should add a little extra twist. Then you hinge, and again, it's not a drop. It's a lift and reach. And once you've gotten there, then put your left hand down and see if you could push farther. Did your left hip lift up? Put it back. Center your weight over both hips. Inhale, tall back through center. Exhale, take your right pinky towards your left leg. Reach your left arm behind you. Hinge forward. Bring it down. Put weight back in the right hip. Twist and lift up. We'll speed it up, but not super fast. You're going to exhale to twist, left finger to right side, right arm reaches behind you, and inhale to sit tall. Exhale to twist, inhale to reach, and up. Exhale, twist, inhale, sit, exhale, twist, forward, inhale, lift, exhale, twist, inhale, lift, exhale, twist, inhale, lift. Just one more to each side. All right, now bring those feet together. And maybe if you slipped around a little bit, reformat, pull those glutes out from under you. Big toes are going to stick together because we're going to do the seated twist. When we do this, if our hips are moving, our feet are going to separate like that. Pull those toes back towards your face. Turn and face me. So you're going to have 3 opportunities on 3 quick exhales to twist farther and farther. Inhale back to center. What did your toes do? Take a peek at them. Then away from me. Exhale, twist farther, farther. Inhale, center, check your toes. Exhale. Inhale, head over the spine. Inhale, center, twist. And inhale, center, inhale, twist. This time, front elbow is going to bend and push, push, push. Back to center, inhale, back elbow, inhale, center, and twist, 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 inhale, center, twist, twist, twist. We get to flop for a minute. So I want you to tuck your tailbone under and roll forward. Just slouchy, slouchy, passive stretch here. And then press yourself up, leave that bump where it is. Bring yourself forward. We want to arch the other way. So actually I'm going to start with that bump underneath my low back, if that's okay with you. You're going to arch over it. If you feel, that's not comfortable, put a little weight into your heels and give yourself a baby bridge. If you're okay coming up over that, that's fine. This does give you a kind of a forced extension, so it might be too much for some of you. Arms can just be out to the side, palms up for a moment. Don't get too comfy, we're moving. All right, hands down by your sides, elbows, push yourself up, walk forward, bring that mat bump so that it's right underneath the middle of your rib cage. So as you go up and over, now your ribs are gonna pop up, and hopefully that's okay with you. Arms out to the side. You could go cactus arms and see if you can get the backs of your fingers and your wrists and your elbows and your shoulder down and tuck your chin. Just working to open various parts of our spine as we move through this. Just a nice passive way to do this. And again, don't get too comfy. Elbows push you up and scoot forward one more time so that comes at your shoulder blades. And then again, arms can be where you want, down at 10 and 2, no, 4 and 8, up at 10 and 2. You can do cactus arms. You can do cactus arms and then bend your elbows and lightly put your fingers behind your head so that you have a nod yes. Still should be a nice stretch now in your chest. If it's too much on the back of your neck, give yourself a little bit of a lift of the top of the head, the back side of the skull. All right, and then however you want to, you could roll over onto one side to come up and over your bump. You could shimmy your body up and over it and then bridge up and just roll that back flat. Just mosey your way back onto your mat with no more bump. All right, now we're going to lift our legs up back to that position that we've been doing a few times today. So remember, if you need to do this with knees bent, that's fine. I want you to take your right leg, bring it towards your forehead, let your left leg move away from you, not quite a scissor. Then bring them both out to the side. Right leg goes down, left leg goes up, and then they come back to center. Control with your abs. Left toes forward, right legs away. Opposite sides. Spin, left leg is under, right leg is on top, back to center. So right leg forward, left leg away, out to the sides, left leg, and then right. So you get this? It's a helicopter, left leg forward, right leg away, open, spin it, woo. Exhale, helicopter, inhale, center. Exhale, helicopter, inhale, center. Make sure you're reversing it every time, so a different leg will come in front every time. And last one, hug those knees in. That should have given us a nice little bit of challenge in our obliques, and now we're going to do one more oblique challenge. So knees are in tabletop, arms out into a T. I want you to drop your knees to the left into a spinal twist to start with, just a nice little rotation and stretch here. And then lift the right leg, press the left elbow into the ground, come back to center, drop the knees to the right. And then left leg up, right elbow assists the right leg. All right, stay in that T position. Keep your legs in tabletop. Let them go to the left, center, and to the right. Now, my arms are on the ground, so they're probably helping out a little bit, and that's okay for now. Now, see if you can bend your elbows, fingers to the sky. That'll probably still give you some assistance. But then hover those elbows. But you don't get to windshield wiper your hands. So hands stay to the side. Your range of motion might have gotten smaller, right? Now, elbows go back down. Press yourself just onto your elbows, but make sure those shoulders aren't pulling up. And we do the same thing side to side. And when you're ready, you're going to straighten out your arms from support here. If you wanted more, legs go straight, it's a giant pendulum. If that pulls on your hip flexors, right back to that tabletop for me, please. If all of this is pulling on your low back, you're right back down to that lying down position. And then if you're in that seated position, make your way back down, and we'll pause for a moment. Bring those legs in and apart for just a second. Give them a little rock. And our last one for those obliques, we're going to bring those legs straight again. We're going to drop them to the left, let the right hip lift up. We're going to bring the toes over the head, back over to the opposite side. I think I said the wrong thing. So we go right, up overhead, left. Inhale, circle, exhale, finish circle, reverse your direction. Inhale to start, exhale to finish. And even yourself up. And once you've done so, feet go on the ground, soles of the feet together, fantastic butterfly stretch. We did a lot for hip flexors today. So hands are gently going to rest on those legs. You can give a gentle press, but don't push down and strain your groin and get mad at me. If your back is arching, that's fine. If you want to, still keep abs engaged, pull those ribs down, but, we're in the stretch, so we can let it all hang out for now. And bring your hands around behind the legs and squeeze them back together. Walk your feet wider than the mat. Let your right knee drop open and your left leg drop in. Nice stretch along that left hip flexor. Low back is getting a little bit of a stretch. And then assist it back and right knee drops in, left leg drops open. And again, assist. We'll come back to center. We're going to hug that right knee into the chest and let it drop open. We're going to reach down and grab our right big toe with our right fingers. And then we're going to lift it off to the right and see if we might be able to straighten it. Point and flex. If you're not holding on to those toes, you can hold down at the ankle. Bend the knee, hold onto those toes and bring it to center. And then straighten the left leg. So the knee is quite bent enough that you can pull the toes back. And then again, you're going to challenge yourself to see if you can straighten the leg, point and flex. And then we're all going to grab hold of the leg. We're going to point. We're going to come up. And while we're up there, we're going to climb up the leg. We're going to flex, and we're bringing the leg with us when we come down. What? Bend it, right onto the side. Right leg pulls across to the left. Get that stretch first, and then we twist it. And then we'll let that flop open. And we'll bend that left knee. Now we have a nice thread the needle. We're going to push that right leg open, slide that left leg a little farther across, reach for the back of the left leg, bring it in, use your right elbow against the right leg, maybe straighten that left leg, give me a point, flex and circle at the ankle, and then bend that left knee across the right, all the way over it, give a little rock, and then knees drop left, deeper twist. And you can play with where your feet need to be to get this nice twist. And then we'll come up and we'll uncross. We'll bring that left leg in. We'll let it rock to the side. We're going to reach down and grab those left toes. And then we're going to see what we can do by straightening out that leg to the left, point and flex. Again, if you're not able to grab your toes, just be here. But if you're bending your knee, that's fine. Everything back to center. This time you are bending your left knee and straightening your right leg. Flex through that right heel. Pull the toes back of the left leg. And then straighten that leg. Point, flex, circle if you want. Grab the back of the calf. Point your toes, lift yourself up. Walk up the leg even higher. And then bring it with you in a flexed position. Ow, deep. Bend that knee. Bring it across towards your right shoulder, a nice stretch in the outside of your right left hip. And then all the way across into your twist. As you come back through center, crisscross that ankle over the right leg, and we'll thread that needle, pushing that ankle a little farther across, extending that right leg flex, point, pressing that left leg open, bend the right knee, crisscross all the way, open into your T, and drop right. And back through center, roll yourself up. We're coming over onto our hands and knees. We'll do a squared up cat-cow, but undulating, right? So forward and back, not cocky jog. Good, stay in that cow, tailbone up, arms out in front of you, and then high plank into your down dog. Press your heels down, walk your feet out. Wide stance, walk it back, nod yes and shake no. Bend your knees, hands on your thighs. Exhale cat and inhale cow. Weight in your heels, toes are lifted, hands to your heart. Bring it up. Have a great day. Thank you for being here. And I have your trivia answer, and I'll see if I can share my screen and play that ad. All right, so the trivia question was,